Welcome back to my oven. It's been a year now since we built the oven, and I've decided to make another video as I've not completed all the surrounding outside area. It sort of cracked across there and up to the top. I could have just filled it with mortar, but I decided not to. I'm going to make a few changes. Instead of just doing that, I've put bolts in all the holes. I've carved out all of the holes. I've Frankensteined it a bit, right? So what I'm going to do is I've tightened all of those, and I've put a Rio bar and welded it all the way around, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a door, a swing out door rather than a loose door, right? So the door's going to swing out to the left hand side. And I wanted to put the Rio in to reinforce the concrete for one thing, and it will hold it across the top. It will reinforce the top as well, and also it gives me points to hinge the door off. Alright, so we're going to be reinforcing this. We're going to be putting boxing here, timber boxing, and then from there I'll pour concrete around the top, and I'll just show you what I want to place there. So basically, if I come back over here, all my little tiles that I've got here, I want to embed them into that concrete front. Alright, so I'll just show you. These are from Sicily, these tiles. When we went there a couple of years ago, I bought these. So I want to embed these into the front of the oven, right, around the front face. So all my little tiles. I've also got to weld two other little threaded sections so that I can have the hinge bolt onto that as well. The door itself, basically I want the door just to fit right across the front and seal across the front, and that'll do a few things. That'll create draw into the flue, and also eventually I'll put a damper in the flue. Alright, so but for now I want to create a nice door with a little slot across the bottom so I can open that and control the flame inside the oven. Alright, and another thing, it's going to save me lifting the oven door in and out every time. Right, I can just swing it open. On top of that, I want to make it a nice decorative door. I'm going to try and create like a hammered blacksmith effect to it. So I might even go online and see what I can buy to put on the front of the door, maybe some steel scrolls or flowers or something like that. We'll see. We'll see what we can come up with. Or I even might make something. We'll do a bit more research on that. Alright, so also on top of that, let's remove that. I'm going to finish the surround around the oven. So basically I'm going to tile that with a little bit of gradient coming off the front so no water sits on the bench itself. Alright, so all the way around we'll be doing that, and we'll be doing a tiled front on here as well. I may even use bluestone. Alright, that type of stone there. I just have to research it. I'm going to try and get something with maybe a scrolled edge, a rolled edge, like that, and we'll put that on there as well. Once I do this tiled edge, I'm going to put a clear coat of varnish or something over the top that will sustain some heat. Alright, it doesn't usually get quite warm at all. The insulation does a really good job with that. Alright, so Now my next thing that I'm going to do is weld on these two little bolts here and then start all the boxing. Thank you and stay tuned. Alright, so I think that's sufficient. So there'll be a plate with a latch there, and it will come off the door itself like that. Right. So it'll grab onto that latch. I never expected it. I expected probably 1,000 views a year, but the oven has taken off so much. It's getting about 2,000 views a week. It's over 110,000 views now, so you know, I thought I owed it to the YouTubers that are really wanting to build an oven and move on with theirs. Also, this oven, we use it weekly. Right, so since COVID, everyone's at home, families at home, all that sort of thing. So basically, I said to myself, let's just do a cooking session every week. We got a heap of wood delivered. We split it right down to the size we want, and I cook with it every week now. Every weekend we make it either a Saturday or a Sunday thing. The family love it. I think a few of the cracks that I got here and here and up the front is because I got it too hot. I've got this thing up to 600 degrees Celsius. So that's a pretty high temperature. So while I'm inside preparing things, I've just kept loading it up with wood and didn't really worry about it, and come back and checked it. Oh wow, the fire's roaring. Checked the temperature on the inside of the oven, and the floor temperature was around 600. So, you know, at that sort of temperature it has to expand somewhere, so that's why I believe we got those two cracks there. It's not to say it's not going to crack again, right? It probably will crack. If something's cold and you heat it and it expands, it's got to go somewhere. So I still think it's going to crack again, but hey, it adds to the beauty of it. Okay, I apologise for not showing the concrete pour, but I poured it late at night and it came out very dark, so I ended up just cutting that bit out. So basically I have poured the concrete, I've rolled the edges there. Also got my tiles now, so they're going to be the tiles. We're going to go around the edges and up on the face with my fancy little water tiles in these tiles, so set in. Right. Why I have chosen these tiles is because they look fairly similar to the bluestone. Alright, so in our next video we will do the tiling. Thank you, stay tuned, watch the rest of the build if you like, and also if you want to see some of my food creations, look on my Instagram page, Sapori Speciale, which I'll put a link in the description as well. Thank you.